Welcome. In this video I'm going to teach the SII process. I learned this process quite a few years ago from Dan Apple, president of Pacific Crest, and I love sharing this process. It's wonderful. The SII is a process for growing performance. You take 4 steps. You identify your focus area, you identify your strengths. What are you doing well? You identify improvements. How can you get better? And you come up with insights. What are your aha moments? Let's start with the benefits of SII. Number 1, let me teach you kind of the mindset for SII. Let's draw a bar graph here. We're going to draw a bar here that represents what you get, the benefits, your benefits. Let's draw another bar that represents your costs. So this is your costs, and these are your benefits. And the really only cost is your time, and you also have to be humble and open. And let's imagine the cost is $1 of your time. What you always want to do is do SII so you get far more benefits than the cost. For example, $5 of benefit for every dollar of cost. And the way you do this is by always focusing the SII on yourself. What do you want? Where do you want to get better? And if you do this, it's a no-brainer, because you invest $1, you get $5 back. And here's the 2 key benefits you get. So benefit number 1, let's make a graph. And so we're going to plot time on this axis. And over on this axis, we're going to plot performance. Performance, right there. Good. And so when you're working on performance with SII, initially you don't improve that fast, but after you start getting clarity, you start getting exponential growth. And you also start realizing there's no upper limit on how good you can get. So you get this exponential growth in your performance. That's a cool benefit. And another thing in this process you get is you get clarity on how to perform. How do I write very well? How do I do accounting very well? How do I do a great presentation? And what you recognize is that great performance is produced by only a few key fundamentals done very, very well. And SII reveals these fundamentals of performance to you. Let's look at an example. A couple days ago, along with some students, we ran a meeting for a project I'm working on. After the meeting, we got together and asked, what do we do well? How can we get better? What insights do we have? And here's 3 of the results of this SII. The strength that we came up with is that we started the meeting by defining the results we wanted to accomplish. That is, we defined our goals. This is important because it kept the meeting productive, and we finished in a very short time, indeed about 10 minutes, because we're very focused on just getting our results. One of the improvements is one I came up with for myself. I'd worked on a particular task, which was getting a power supply, but I did not get the job done. And so my improvement is to elevate my level of commitment, and I'm going to do this by starting tasks immediately after the meeting, getting them into my organizational system. An insight from the meeting is that everyone's motivation and enthusiasm went up because we were focused on goals. And the big aha is that if you really want to get people engaged, be goal-oriented. Let's go over the process in more detail. In the focus area, you pick the area that you're interested in growing your performance. In the example, we looked at meeting performance. Doing a strength is nothing more than asking questions. What did we do well? How did we do this? Why was this beneficial? And by asking these questions, we were able to produce the strength that you saw in the example. The improvement is nothing more than looking at what issues arose, what pissed you off, what do you get mad about. So what will you do next time? How are you going to change this? And how are you going to do your follow-up? And you always want to make an improvement so it's actionable. It's easy to do. And an insight is your light bulb moments. What did you discover? What are the implications of the discovery? How can you generalize your discovery? The real key issue from this meeting is that we can use goal setting to really increase people's engagement. So what does quality look like? Number one, the ideas are personalized, and the people who do the SII feel like they get great benefit. Number two, the ideas you come up with generalize to many contexts. For example, the insight about goal setting could be applied virtually anywhere. The ideas are specific. Improvements are actionable. They're easy to follow up on. The improvements are followed up on. And also strengths are repeated. So all you're doing is applying best practices and recognizing new best practices. Lastly, strengths and improvements both are describing actions, because actions are what produce results. In summary, the SII is a process for growing performance. Always do SII so the benefits to you greatly exceed your costs. And the SII is comprised of identifying your strengths, your improvements, and your aha moments or insights. You want to write these things down, keep it simple, do SIIs often, and do them in many areas of performance. When you grow your performance, you get better results and you have more fun doing this. Thank you for listening.